What's up, everybody? This is Chris Talks Crypto. I want to make a short video looking at the relationship between Ethereum and Bitcoin. So if we look up here, Ethereum, Bitcoin. So Ethereum is the base currency and Bitcoin is the quote currency. Basically, we're looking at the price of Ethereum if you looked at it in Bitcoin terms. So normally we're looking at the price of Ethereum in US dollar terms, or we're looking at the price of Bitcoin in US dollar terms. But basically, it's looking at Bitcoin, the price of Ethereum divided by the price of Bitcoin. So right now, we're at about it takes about 0.06 Bitcoin to get one Ethereum. And Ethereum somewhere is sitting around, I want to say like 1,000 or something like that, maybe like 1,500. I can't remember. But yeah, basically there's a relationship that plays out between Bitcoin and Ethereum that's pretty important for the bull cycle and how it kind of progresses. So if we look at it, there are times where it's going up and it's going down. And what do those different things mean? So if the price of this pair, Ethereum denominated in Bitcoin, is going up, that means that Ethereum is outpacing, the growth of Ethereum is outpacing the growth of Bitcoin. And if it's going down, that means that the growth of Bitcoin is outpacing the growth of Ethereum, and so on and so forth. So the same way here, like, we saw a period of growth here and then kind of a stagnation period here. If we look at it, it's kind of an indicator of the overall bull market and the sentiment. So this chart goes back to 2017. 2017 was a key period for Bitcoin and Ethereum. This is a bull market, right? So around this time, what you'll see in the start of a bull market is Bitcoin will tend to outperform Ethereum in most cases. So you saw that here. So we were dropping in this pair's price here. So Bitcoin is outperforming. And then once you got to, this is December of 2017. If anyone was around in crypto back then, they know that that was a major period for cryptocurrency. And once you get around there, that was considered Ethereum / altcoin season. So this is kind of like your blow off top. You saw for about 2 or 3 months, Ethereum just went on a major tear. And just like, kind of shot to the top. Ethereum's only been around since 2015, and Bitcoin's been around since 2009. So this was Ethereum's first major showing. After we got here, so this is February of 2018, you started to see a major decline, and this is the end of the bull market. We had this blow off top right here. There was this major decline in the price of Ethereum. All the way through 2019, and then this is kind of the bear market and where nothing's really happening in crypto. You saw a run up in 2020. Let me see, we had COVID somewhere around here. There was a drop there. We had this run up and then another drop. So once we got into 2020, Ethereum had been outperforming for the majority of it, the majority of 2020, and then like we saw a drop. And then this was about the start of the major leg of the bull run. So we saw altcoin season. So Ethereum saw a major run up here all the way through 2021. So the bull market, I would say, ended somewhere around September. And then we started like that down slope. We reached our peak in, I want to say it was like October, November, somewhere in here. Yeah. So somewhere around here, we reached the peak of the bull market cycle of 2021. And then it's been a gradual decline ever since. So I'll put on the drawings now. If we kind of look at it, there's some familiar patterns that we tend to see. So there's a period of consolidation right here. So you saw that all the way from September of 2018 to April of 2021. So it's just kind of bouncing around this range. You had a kind of a breakdown, which means again that Bitcoin is doing better. You saw this ranging, and you saw a breakdown, and then you kind of, if you draw it, you see this swooping. There's this parabola, that kind of rounded bottom that kind of forms, and then you see a major run up. And I think we're about to see that again. So you had this run up that happened in 2021, and then you've kind of been stuck in this range all this time, and then you saw a kind of a rounded swooping bottom. There was a break below the range, just as there was here. You see this rounded bottom that you have here, and now we're kind of at a critical period right here. So we see the fact that we have there's the Ethereum price right here. That's at the confluence of the range bottom, and you're at the kind of area of this rounded bottom as well. So what you could see, and now you have this down trend line as well. There's this trend line that's been forming since 2022, September of last year, so roughly about a year. You have this trend line that could potentially be broken to the upside. And if we get a strong close above that, that's going to be an indicator that we're going to be in the bull run, especially for Ethereum. And then we'll kind of go from there. So once you start seeing periods like this to where Ethereum is outpacing Bitcoin, that is when you'll start to see a lot of different altcoins and smaller projects start to do very well. You'll see major gains in this period. And that's where a lot of people make a lot of money. Realistically, you make the money right here if you're buying, like, you make it in these range periods, not necessarily when it's all the way up here. But people can absolutely make money when it's going up. Much more so the traders who can buy it up and sell it down and do things like that. But again, you still have that opportunity to kind of get in here and here and here and here, all the way as it continues to pump up. So again, if we look at it, I kind of talked about earlier that you have we're at about 0.06 Bitcoin per 1 Ethereum. I don't know why that happened. Yeah, there we go. There's an event that's called the flippening, and basically that's going to be the point where Ethereum is equal to 1 Ethereum is equal to 1 Bitcoin. So if I draw a line here, and I say this is equal to 1, this is a very magic number in the Bitcoin space. So it's 1.00. Okay, so that's 1. As soon as this chart reaches here, then Ethereum's total market cap will be equivalent to Bitcoin's total market cap. So that's a very significant number. Again, if we pull it out here, we don't know when that's going to happen, but eventually there is going to be a time where we're projected that this is going to happen, and it's going to go from being a minor player. Again, Ethereum's like number 2 out of all of the cryptos. You have Bitcoin, Ethereum, and then a couple others in the top 5. But Ethereum has held a strong place in the crypto market space purely because of the fact that if you look at the other thousands of crypto that are available in the market, the overwhelming majority, I'm talking about 75-80% of them, run on the Ethereum network, which means they're an ERC token. At that point. So we're kind of in an interesting time. Again, we're leading into the Bitcoin halving. We're leading into 2024. This is going to be an election year. You could see potentially more liquidity enter the market, which is going to send prices to the upside, as we saw here. I mean, where was that at? This was we had a big liquidity injection here in about March or April of 2020, and then you saw what happened. It just went off to the races. This is around the time of COVID. We saw a lot of money printing here, and anytime that happens, you're going to see an appreciation in the price of assets. So one thing you want to look at is, let's look at this, Bitcoin liquidity, capital flow cycle. So if I look at the Bitcoin capital flow, like how does it move? If we look into this, right? Understanding the flow of money into crypto. And I mean, there are tons of different graphs, but we'll just look at this one. Money flow into crypto. So we're at fiat currency right now, kind of somewhere. So we're somewhere in this range. So fiat currency, that's US dollars, Japanese yen, Australian dollars, British pound, so on and so forth. People are holding cash. So you have fiat, which eventually flows into Bitcoin, which is, again, probably the safest cryptocurrency that you can invest in at this point. In the sense that it's gotten the blessing of a lot of major world governments. I mean, obviously there's still risk involved, and this is not financial advice, but Bitcoin has kind of gotten the golden stamp at this point, gotten that golden standard. But anyway, like you flow from fiat currency, the money flows into Bitcoin at first, and then you flow into large caps. So large caps are like, I don't know, maybe top 5, top 10 cryptocurrencies by market cap. Ethereum is number 2 and has stayed there and probably will stay there for a long time. I mean, this, what is this? This is Cardano. This is Cardano symbol, ADA. And then you throw from large market caps, which may be in the hundreds of $1 billion to tens of billions of dollars. So this is Matic right here. And I want to say this is Stellar Lumens. you flow into mid caps, and then you flow into small caps. Once you get to here, you're pretty much at the end of the bull market, the bull run. So these are the ones in the hundreds of millions, maybe, and so on and so forth. So this, I want to say this is earn or yield, one of the two. I don't know what this symbol is. I want to say this one might be SWE, a newer project, but again, a smaller market cap. Once that's done, it'll make a loop back, right? So we're at the top of the bull run. You go from riskier, each step gets riskier and riskier and riskier and riskier until we get to the top where no one's really putting money in. And then at that point, you kind of go back to Bitcoin. Everyone goes back to Bitcoin. Okay, that's safer. We can, kind of lock in our gains. And then eventually that money flows back into fiat, and then the whole cycle starts again. The 4-year cycle starts again. So it says you are here, but really we're right here. This is an older article, so it's not really. What was this? This was 2021. Oh, let me see. Yeah, October of 2021. Yeah, so we were absolutely at that point. We were kind of right here. I'm getting into that blow off top phase. So, and really, I would say in October 2021, we were probably around here, not necessarily right here. But again, once you get to that point, we're kind of right here. Eventually, you'll start seeing money flow into large caps, then mid caps, then small caps. And eventually we'll get back to Bitcoin, and then eventually back to fiat, and then the whole cycle starts over again, assuming that we follow the same trajectory as we followed in the past. So that is just kind of a look into Ethereum and Bitcoin and why it's important, and why that pair is something that a lot of people look at. It has somewhat of a correlation to, let's look at the total market cap. So this is the total market cap excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum. So if we look at that, this is the 2017 all-time high that I marked off. The total market cap excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum. So that takes the total. This is altcoins essentially. This is all of the altcoins. And once you see this going up, then that means that, hey, we're off to the races. We're off to the races in the sense that these smaller projects that may have some type of use case, they start gaining a ton of capital. And with altcoins, you have the opportunity to get a lot more gains because, again, they're much smaller projects than you have in Bitcoin and Ethereum. So there's I guess I call it a bit of a trade-off, right? So there's the safety of Bitcoin and Ethereum, and they're established projects, but then you have projects that may not be as established, but they're still, reputable. But you still have the opportunity to get into those and to gain a lot more than you would just purely based off of Bitcoin and Ethereum. So there's a mix in your portfolio that you should be building of, having those heavily safe assets. And I say safe, quote unquote, but those safer assets like Bitcoin and Ethereum, and then getting into the mid caps and small market caps should be the smallest portion of your portfolio accordingly. Just to keep yourself diversified and to keep yourself in a position to where you are nimble and where you're quick and you can get out while still getting good gains. So that's pretty much all I got. I just kind of want to run through one of the major pieces of the crypto market that people pay attention to, and kind of give you a broader look at some metrics that you might want to look at, different KPIs. I know a lot of people deal with KPIs and whatnot. So in my opinion, this is one of the bigger KPIs that you look at to kind of get a gauge of where you are in the bull market. So that's all I got. Like I said, it's been Chris Talks Crypto. Check out christalkscrypto.com for any type of crypto resources. And other than that, I will see you on the moon. Take care.